Yes, I have a very special young man in the building, Jerome Watkins. Is that how you say your name? Mr.
Yes,
Watkins is
sir.
in the building?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about it, man. Let's give the people a little idea who you are, where you from, and why you love this game of basketball, man. There's no order.
Um, I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I go to University Laboratory.
All
The
right, maybe they might not know about you high.
Sir.
I say might not know about you high. Explain it a
Yeah.
little more.
It's the laboratory school of the LSU campus, LSU. Um, it's a home to. It's a pretty what's the word? It's a pretty big, renowned campus in Louisiana.
Sit up a
I
little
know a lot
higher
of
because you seem kind of
sir.
low. Sit up a little higher. You see, there we go. Perfect.
I know a lot of college, a lot of players went to college from that school. A lot
Drop
of
some names. Drop a few names. Drop a few names.
we got Garrett Temple, rest in peace, Wade Sims,
Mm-hmm.
Skylar Mays, Big Baby
Yes.
Davis, just a
Big
couple.
Baby Davis.
Garrett, what's College Temple? Just the names.
A lot of good names to
Um,
follow behind. Look,
yes, sir.
matter of fact, the guy that discovered Big Baby Davis actually Gulf South Unlimited. We actually doing the camps with the guy that actually discovered him from coming to this camp. So you kind of following in that footsteps, man. So
Yes,
Big
sir.
Baby
Yes, sir.
Davis got discovered at the Gulf South camp, man, many years ago.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing that you're getting that opportunity to follow in that footstep, you know. So let me ask
Yes,
you a
sir.
question. After all of this basketball, what keeps your drive going? What makes you keep wanting to be playing this game? Talk to us.
I like the competitive nature. Always willing to go the extra step. I'm very competitive. So I like beating people, and the sport allows me to get that edge out of me because I can't get it out anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, it's very
playing the
listen,
sport
it's
makes me
something you
happy.
desire, something you develop, man. There ain't nothing like, proving it to yourself and getting it done, Ain't nothing
Yeah.
like that, man. So for me, I fully understand that mindset. So let me ask you a question. If you had to describe your game and you had to compare it to a type of player, now I'm making it a little tough on you. You could do that or just describe your game to us. If you had to describe your game, how would you describe it?
If I had to describe my game, I'll say I'm a pass first point guard. I'm very scrappy on defense. I get active with my hands, But I say I could get a bucket when we need the team. The team needs to get a bucket. I could help us get that.
It's very important. It's very important. But listen, if guys can't run sets, then he's no real use to the coach because the coach have to coach with a strategy, right? And then within that strategy, he have to figure out how they're going to beat this team or get guys in foul trouble or get the guy off you. So you got to be able to run sets. So that's important. And then you got to know when your team need a bucket. Every good point guard, you consider yourself a true point guard or what?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm not going to believe you know what you consider a true point guard because we're in the scoring point guard era right now.
Yeah.
What is a true point
I
guard?
get the team involved. You know what I'm saying? I
You the
dish
coach on the
out the
floor?
extra pass, sir.
You're a coach on the floor?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let me ask you this. Was you the captain of your school team this year?
Yes, sir.
You was?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, because to me, you got to be the head, the second coach on the floor, and then that's what really, truly matters, So now,
Yeah.
what area of your game you think you need to improve on? Be
I
honest.
say more my 3-point like shooting. I'm pretty good at the mid range, but beyond the arc, I need a little work on that. And I'll probably say, um, I could do a little bit more work on free throws as a point guard. You need to hit free throws as a point guard.
You got to get free throws because there's a lot of times you could be having the ball in your hand when the game was aligned and you get fouled, and then you got to be the guy they don't want to foul. You know what I mean? Because you can make those type of shots. So now let's talk about your season this year. How did it end? How was it? Is there anything that you would change? Let's put it a two-part question. If you was a freshman right now going to U High, and you could do it all over again, what would you change? Or what would you add? Think about it. What would you change? And what would you add?
What would I change? I would change my mindset going into the sport, because when I went to the school, I was just happy to be a part of the team. I wasn't bettering myself, adding extra workouts and trying to get better. So I was just a little lackadaisical. And what was the other part of the question?
What would you add? What would you
I
do
would
to
add to the whole high school experience. I would add probably just what I would add. I would add probably
you could add
the
more
way the
focus?
season ended. Nah. I could say that, but the way the season ended, I wish I was a better vocal leader towards my teammate that kind of catered to the season and ended the season shortly.
As a senior, you could have did some more talking. You could have added that to your arsenal, your tool belt, as we say. Those are things that you want to add. Because, like in so many words, if you see a game as a tool belt, your mid range, your leadership, defense on one side, other side you can have some of your offense. What would I do better defensively? Communicate more. So now, right now, you currently don't have a situation which we're gonna try to change that to the best of our ability at Gulf South Unlimited, because that's what we predicate our program on, where the players and coaches connect, right? So that's our goal, to try to find you a situation. One thing about junior college is for lions, bears, and tigers. I'm gonna say it again. Junior college for lions, bears, and tigers. It is like positive peer pressure. You understand what I'm saying? Positive peer pressure. Like in so many words, you're gonna see so many guys that's hungry, so many guys trying to make it, so many guys trying to do it. And you got to find the peer pressure of type, like you're gonna come in, they're gonna have guys that's seniors that's trying to get a situation. So a lot of freshmen don't want to come in and play their role. Some guys want to be freshmen and start and do all of these things. I think when you walk into junior college, first thing you should be thinking about, I'm gonna try to stay here 2 years to get my associate's degree so that I can have what? One part of my life figured out.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying to you? Get that associate's you got. Because listen, you can always build upon that if you stop playing. Go back, get the bachelor's. Right? So go in, take all the coursework. Say, in 24 months, I can actually prepare myself. Some guys are going to take 30 months or whatever. All depends on where you at on that barometer, right? So you can say to yourself, if I get a situation, because they're going to work out a package deal with you where you might have to pay a little bit, even if the school is, say the school is $10,000 for 2 years or 14, and somehow you work out and you only leave out of there paying 5 or 7, you still saved a good amount of money. So I like these guys to go in with a business mindset, not just a basketball mind, because mathematically college costs money. Yeah. Right. So I was just talking to a kid. He had a situation. He got a nice situation. He's coming out to the camp anyway, but his situation that's worked out for him right now is pretty nice. They want $10,000 a year, which is going to end up to $4,000 at the D2, but they're giving him $25,000 a year. So that means the school is $140. He only paying $40. But the type of degree he's going to come out with, now if he busts butt and do his thing, he might talk to the coach. Hey, look, man, come on, man. Give me a full ride. The money might come from somewhere because you do the right thing. So what I'm saying to you is first you got to get in the situation and then make the best of it. That's where most guys get. That's where the positive peer pressure. Can you deal? Because young men are built from what? Trauma. Can you deal with the lions, bears, and tigers, the decisions that's going to be around you? Now, you just said something real clear. If I could do some things different, you're going to be a freshman again. Right?
Yes, sir.
So now, a little more on the academics, a little more focus on this, because what happens, God bless you with the same 24 hours as the next man. Next woman. Now, if you're on a video game, you're trying to be the playboy, that time is being used. In the great words of what? Kanye West. One is getting away. So now, you got 3 things getting away. You can hang, academics, and the money, right? because
Yes, sir.
your education is your money. It's not going to be free in college. You got to make great decisions. You got to prove your worth all the time. So now you in a 2-year endurance piece, right? You got to
Yes,
be
sir.
strong-minded, strong-willed. You got to make sure now when you walk in, I'm going to be in here for 2 years. I call it a luxury prison. You know what I'm saying? It's a luxury
Yes,
prison because now they got you for 2 years. Some guys going to leave in 2 years if they take care of their business. Some guys going to leave the summer, every summer, because he tried to be a little bit of a playboy plus the class. Now summer school is the only way you're going to get out. So you see what I'm saying? The same time
yes,
you thought you got away with, you got to give it back to summer school. Luxury prison. No way around it. You feel me? So
yes,
one
sir.
got away. You had a great time. All right, you enjoy yourself. You're a playboy. Now you're summer school. You know what I'm saying? So what you rather do is get it over with. Right? So now the same 24 hours as the next person. What I recommend you to do as soon as you get your coursework, find out where every single tutor for that class is. And then you go straight to the tutor. You never fall behind. Because see, when you're trying to jangle it all by yourself, now you're on your own. But they pay the tutors to help you guys. And guys, I don't need a tutor. Yes, you do. Because you might your professor might explain the class one way. The tutor might have a shortcut better than the professor. He's a tutor for a reason. Sometimes these tutors are better than the professors, or they know different ways, right? Got kids coming from different countries, different places, blah, blah, blah. So that's very important. So go in with the new mentality, right? As a new freshman, and remember what you just said. See, that was a 2-part question. So now, every great player has to have a routine. What routine do you have right now? And if you don't have one, we must find one for you. So what is your daily routine as a ball player? Let's hear it.
My daily routine, wake up, brush my teeth. This is for school, right? Because we're not in summer.
No, your basketball routine. You better brush your teeth. Right? All right. What is your daily routine to get better as a basketball player? Like I tell guys, I showed 2 young guys today that's going to be at the camp. One trying to say you got to get in shape. You got this, that, and the third. I gave him a fast routine that's quick, that's going to quickly just get his body together for the competition, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't have a routine, that's something we're going to give you at the camp.
So I wake up, I run a 3-mile jog. You know, early in the season, I was a little gassed. So my father told me to go run.
Here's the thing. Now, this is science. And I'm not going against the science, but I'm going to give you a little example. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, those guys ran 10 miles, destroyed their back. So now for basketball players, this is the new science. You need wind sprints. You need to do something in fast spurts, slow down, fast spurt, catch your breath. So, because your game is different. You see what I'm saying to you? Because you have to be what? Quick on your feet. So now you might have to change that because your endurance is different. You feel me? Your endurance is different than a marathon runner. You get what I'm saying to you? You got to have the fast twitch muscles. So we'll give you some information on that. See? So that we know now going in as a freshman, you're going to be a different kind of freshman. You see what I'm saying? You already probably not as fast as you needed to be because the way you looked at things XYZ. So now you want to approach it differently, right? So now, you graduating what day?
May 19th.
Oh, so you got a little bit of time. You got some time.
Yes, sir.
Got some time. So you finish all your course. You definitely graduating.
Yes, sir. I'm graduating. I'm getting about it.
Ain't no summer school. You ain't graduating in the summer school. Okay. Nah. All right. So let me ask you a question. How did you balance basketball and academics? How did you do it?
I'm not gonna lie. Freshman year it was a little bumpy.
Yep, I got beat up my freshman year with the grades too. I came in there too cool like you. I had a fro down. I had a fro like that. I had, whatever that was out at that time. I came in there with that sharp hairline like you, tough.
Yes, sir.
So
and our coach, he made us go to mandatory study hall.
Good.
And I always took advantage of it because I was a little lacking in the math department. So I go to the math teacher and ask for extra help on the days that we didn't have practice. Or if we did have practice and I needed the help with the test on the day, I go early in the morning to study hall.
Good, good. So you was able to balance it through study hall.
Yes, sir.
That's a good question. That's a good question. So now, the game, the part of your game that if a coach was for to watch you play, like right now, we're gonna have to send out the links to a lot of colleges. And what would be the first thing you think coaches will notice about your game?
My defense, hustling.
Look, everybody's saying they playing defense in these interviews. I want to
Nah,
see what happened on the 26th. Look, listen,
it.
I'm not saying that, everybody got great at. Everybody's like, I play D. Look, when I see basketball, I'll be like, yo, who play? Nobody's playing D. So listen. So the first thing you think they would notice would be your defense.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, listen. I believe defense is the first sign that you care. To me, if you don't play D, you don't care. You don't have a full appreciation for the game, because you gotta have the same mentality that you ain't killing me.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? If you only have I'm gonna score on you and you're gonna score on me, to me, you ain't doing your job. Because that, to me, if you don't play D, you don't care. You don't care enough. I think defense is one of those things where you care. You care like, yo, dog, you're gonna respect me and I'm gonna guard you. Yo, listen, I'm not the one. So my thing is, defense to me is the first sign that you care about winning, because that means you have a personality on both sides of the ball. There's a lot of guys that have a personality only on one side of the ball, and they wonder why they don't get in the game, because you don't guard nothing.
Yeah.
And then at some point, if you're not a great defender, then you need to be a guy that's excellent at helping when it's time. You got to make up for something. You feel me? So,
yes, sir.
All right, so that's the first thing you say. Coach would notice is your defense. Okay.
Yes, sir.
What about communication on the court? What describe communication on the court to you? What would communication
on the court? I say calling out the switches. Calling out the switches. I say who got shooter, who got this box out. You know, at the free throw line, we got box out, or even advocating what the coach saying to me, tell them what plays we're running to help us go get a bucket.
Let me tell you something. That's how you know if a person cares. Because if they're talking, that means they're in it, right? You don't worry about who's walking by, right? You like, yo, somebody got to stop so-and-so. I got him. Send him this way. Send him. That's how coaches automatically know the guys are really in it. When you're playing defense and nobody's talking, you with a bunch of guys that's not in it. And then you'll be like, man, this guy's going by because he's not talking about, yo, I'm pushing him right, or y'all decide. Y'all got to start. That's why I say, to be a leader, we say, yo, dog, we pushing everybody out the paint, or we pushing them to the middle. Y'all got to decide. Now, if you got a shot block, you might push in the middle. But if you don't got a shot block, you want to push in what? Sideline, right? So y'all got to decide. After you say, yo, dog, what kind of D we playing? We doubling? We getting the ball out of so-and-so hand? And that means you in it. So that matters. So now, here's a tough question. If you had to describe your game in one word, what would it be? Yeah.
It's tough. I'm not gonna say manageable, but
so now the reason I ask you that, because that's the word you gotta live by. That's the word you're gonna live by. You see me? So when you get on that court, you gotta have a mantra, a mindset. That's why some of the greatest players, don't let them fool you. Some of the greatest fighters in the world, they go in that ring with a philosophy that they're gonna live by. Right? Some guys, I'm gonna die on my sword. If this is my last game, I'm gonna give it my best. I'm gonna play this game like my last. So I ask you, if you had to describe your game in one word, what would it be?
Describe game. Experience.
Experience. All right. So that's the big word. I've never heard nobody use that word, but when you say experience, in what aspect? Because it sounds sound like a great word,
Yes,
but it would sound like a word of a veteran. Somebody that played in the league for a few years. So I'm just saying, but which I mean, yeah, compared to a high school guy, yeah.
Yeah, I'll say I've been in certain situations that may.
No, listen, I'm not taking from your word. Listen,
Yeah,
it's your
yeah,
word. But,
yes,
but give me this so-called experience. Let's hear
I've
it.
been to the state championship game,
Oh,
the
wow.
whole playoff. Yes, sir. So I'll say I know what it takes, the different type of attitude, different type of it gets different in the playoffs. Regular season and playoffs, two different things. So
That
I know.
sound like experience. No, but listen, I
know what it
wasn't doubting you. I just thought it was a very mature word from a young fella. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like, I'm feeling that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
yes,
wow, that sounds pretty veteran-like. You know what I mean? So I mean, yeah, continue. Sorry, sorry for interrupting.
It's good. So I'll experience for us the foul count. I know when not to foul, when to foul, when to attack the paint if we're in a bonus so we can get through throws. I know what teammate is lacking in and what they're good at, and I'll put them in the best situation to get us some points.
Listen, let me tell you something. That's one of the most mature answers. So listen, that experience word that you use, you got something there. You got a lot you can build. Look, that's right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty cool. Look, I'll tell you this. I'm proud you said it. Because if I was a coach, I'd be like, all right, we know at least he got some understanding about what's going on. Because listen, I don't want to say no pro names because they weren't further than me. But there's some pros that don't even play like they have that experience. Like some of the things you just said to me was impressive because there's some pros right now we're going to watch in the playoffs. Who you going for in the playoffs? Let's find out right now.
I want the Lakers to win.
Yeah, I'm a Laker guy too. Look, so what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, some guys don't realize what you just said. It's very impressive, man. That was impressive, man. So now, who's your favorite player? Oh, yeah, if you have more than one, let's shout him out.
I have two, but I strive to play like Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving, see that's a tough guy to follow. Especially who else? Kyrie. What you love about Kyrie? What you love about
Kyrie?
Kyrie?
His handles. I like his handles, and then his layup package.
Yeah,
I like how he can finish in contact or throughout the contact.
His finish is something else. All right, so you like the great LeBron James? Go ahead.
Also, LeBron, his IQ, he has a very strong IQ.
Matter of fact, I think he ends players' career when they play with him. And people gonna say, "What do you mean?" Because
the points per game go up there.
This is what happens. You play with LeBron, and he plays with you about 30 games, and he figure out
what you are.
You're not gonna be around.
Yeah.
For when it goes down. Because ever you playing off of so much talent that he like, all right, talent is fine. Where you at here? Because I'm like, yo, dog, how you don't keep certain players? You get what I'm saying? Like some of these guys that be with him for a minute and then all of a sudden they're gone. And I'm like, what happened? So that's why I think sometimes you play with them 1 year, then the next year, it ain't the same for you. You feel what I'm saying? Like you be like, yo, why do you keep him? It's like he's just a talent. And I guess in the NBA, you could just be talented, but not smart enough to last. You get what I'm saying? Like, but he don't remember nothing. Or he don't, he ain't gonna be, he can't think where we need him to think. And then there's a few guys like that's just his boys, like J.R. Smith. You could tell he went to J.R. Smith one time, it was like, he almost couldn't say nothing. He was and just walked away. You feel me? Like,
yes, sir.
And I think that was JR last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if he played anymore after that. You know what I'm saying? I know he ain't played longer after that. You know, on them championship games. So, LeBron, you gotta listen. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe I'm on to something. But if LeBron tell you to come play with him, go in the film room with him. Don't just go to the court. Say, yo, LeBron, I need to know where you at, what you need from me. Because if you just go in that mama cool, you do a few things, go the wrong way, keep going the wrong way. thought he was. He ain't. Yeah, he can do all the things, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Because you had Patrick Beverly, had a few guys. You be like, all right, after the scrappy stuff, what you got? That's it. Oh yeah. Who else you like?
Drew Holiday, as far as the defense wise, I feel like he could guard 1 through 5, and I feel like that part of his game translates to mine because I feel like I could guard anywhere.
Drew Holiday is probably one of the most underrated NBA players in the last. I don't even know how many years he played, but this how special this dude is. He was an all-star years ago. Think about it. He was an all-star years ago.
Yes, sir.
And then, because I called him a lot of times, because, I got, I know a lot of people in the city. So I would go to a lot of the practices with the Pelicans. I get in, a lot of good relationships. And I used to just be like, damn, man, this dude is something. Yo, he was so smart with the ball. He got everything. Put it this way. He's so good at all of it. It's almost like, you remember how Kawhi Leonard is in his prime? He's like that. Yeah. But a small version of Kawhi Leonard where you'll be like, you'll see him do a move maybe once or twice, but then his defense be like, he know your move. You know how somebody think they would? No, he know your move. Yes. He just be like, give me that. Now I listen to second in practice, like, give me that. No, damn. Ain't these pros? So he looks to just guard you and just rip you.
Yeah.
Like, soon as you have your setup, you start your setup, people like, yeah, I already seen that. Give me that. You're going to do that same little whatever. Let me get that. And that's why I was like, yo, dog. Because, see, I think when he plays against you, you almost start to realize how good he is. You understand? You know, I'd be like, yo, I'm going to kill him. Yes. But then he going to do something to you, and you going to be like, ain't nobody never did that to me. And then he going to do something to you defensively, and you're going to be like, you feel me? So that's what I think with him is, and then he's never rattled. He's 75 degrees. He never up, low. He's just killing you. You get what I'm saying to you? Then he's a nice guy. Then he's a cool guy. Met him a few times. That's why I say he's very interesting. That's why I say for you to pick Drew, nobody picks Drew. Look at the Celtics. Look at Milwaukee. They ain't been the same. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Drew get on you, and he downloads whatever it is you're doing. He gets it. He downloads it. And then offensively, he gets you. And he'll throw it on you, or he'll drop, and you'll be like, I got a ball today. So Drew Holiday is a great pick. I just don't think enough people truly appreciate him. He's one of those guys that I'm glad he won a few championships because they wouldn't have remembered him. I don't think so. Because he's not, he's not animated. He ain't too, he's just cool, 75 degrees. So look, you have any questions for me?
Nah.
So how did you hear about the Gulf South Unlimited basketball camp? Let's talk about that because we're about 28 minutes in. So how do you hear about us, and what's your aspiration of coming to the camp? Let's close on that.
I heard about y'all through Coach Courtney.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he told my pops about y'all, so I just looked y'all up and got acclimated. I was like, yeah, I want to do this.
This is our second annual. So what we're trying to do is like put Louisiana basketball where it needs to be, because I realize there's a lot of talent here, and the coaches is like, I don't want to talk about any coaches, but I just think they're not extending themselves outside of high school to help the young men, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that, if you've been a coach and you've been coaching over 10 years, you should have access to many college coaches. Like, in so many words, wouldn't you think it'd be a little bit of a disappointment if you walk out of my camp and one weekend we get you a school and your school didn't get you a school in 4 years? That would be a little disappointing. That has to stop. I mean, now what I just said is I'm probably going to have a few guys like, hey, who the hell are you? Yeah, whatever. But the reality is like, come on, bro. If I get this young man a situation in the weekend, somebody, they got to step up as coaches. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, sir. I definitely agree with that.
You agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Like, we've done it a lot of times. And I understand some of these coaches could be overwhelmed by, schemes, family, coaching. But if you have these talented players, if you got a guy, like for instance, if you had a player, to make it simple so that no coaches don't feel away, if they do, fine, or maybe you take their advice and you change it. If you had a guy that played 4 years and started for you, how are you not finding a college for him?
Yeah.
That don't make, if you had a guy that's a 3-year starter, where there's no connection, you get what I'm saying here?
Yes, sir.
And I just give you the number. You got 350 to 51, 52, people who could change the division ones. You got about 340 something division twos, 400 something NEIAs, division threes, and over 1,000 junior college. So that's why we do what we do. That's why I say Gulf South Unlimited, the place where players and coaches connect. So our goal is to get you a situation. And I'm just saying, you would be a great example. We get you a school in 1 weekend, less than 48 hours. We've done it plenty of times. So that's how you heard about us. And is any other questions you have for us? Because I know you're ready to watch the Lakers. They should be on in a few seconds.
Yeah. For the last camp, yes. was it was a lot of competition.
We had 2 camps. We had a preseason camp to prepare our last camp was a preseason camp that prepared our high school team. And of course, we won state this year. Thank God for that. But the camp before that, we had a lot of talent in there. Matter of fact, we had a lot of 7-footers in there. So a lot of guys played well. There was a lot of competition and a lot of guys played well. And it was a great camp, man. We had like 10 guys got signed out of that camp. Yeah. The first one, I think the last one, like 3 guys got signed out of that last one. And it was only like probably one, because we try not to have more than 40 guys. You feel me? Because then it started to get a little too much to evaluate. Make sense? Right? So we're trying to have like 40 guys, 50 at the max, 60 would be a lot because that's a lot of kids to help, if that makes sense. So that's why I was telling your dad, like, yo, come on, because we will shut it down. Because, like, we don't want too many kids because that's a lot of kids to help, if that makes sense. We don't want the numbers yet. We want guys that really need the help and we can help them, right? So that's the real goal. We may have a few underclassmen that may come, but they can really play. Like you're talking about, like guys that can really play. Got the size, the 6'3", 8th grader or 9th grader, sophomore that can play. Duncan, one of those kind of guys. But mostly it's gonna be JC guys and returning guys, and seniors. So I'm pretty sure you're gonna look online and you're gonna see a few guys you might have played against that's gonna be at the camp. And then of course we're gonna get a bunch of guys that's gonna come in at the end because a lot of guys is playing on the circuit still. I'm like, yo, the circuit, like I'm gonna do 10 reasons why you need to come to our camp. You'll see that tomorrow. I'll do that tonight because we just got to look at it. At some point, you got to prove you can play. You know what I mean? Like everybody can't play in their coach's scheme. Everybody can't play with certain ball players. At this camp, you're gonna have the opportunity to show what you have. So I appreciate you, Jay.
Yes, sir.
So is that it, man? I'm giving you an opportunity, man, to talk with you, man. We're gonna send this out to you. I'm gonna ship it up and we ain't make no mistakes. So this is gonna be an easy send out. So I'm gonna send your video out to the coaches and this interview as well. And we're gonna see what we can get cracking for you, what's popping, what's happening, see what schools like you. And then I think also after the camp, if you have a good showing, which I'm pretty sure you are, and we'll have you playing against quality guys and do well in there. And everything has a beginning. Yeah, you can begin from there. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So go you, go me, go us. Appreciate you, man. You're on the Go Us podcast. Yeah, man. Thank you for joining up, man. We're looking forward to helping young guys like you. That's the reason why we do it, man. It's the reason to step in the gaps. We know what it's about. Sometimes we know it all on gel. And there's always guys like you that nobody truly know about that actually come out of the smoke, like they say. So let's get it. All right. Win your game, man, because you got to play in that camp, man. It's a great opportunity. That's what it is.
That's it.
Peace, man. I appreciate you, Jay. One.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Be safe.